we've got some rumours a rumbling, ladies and gents, about the Mandalorian. Allegedly, Pedro Pascal clashing with producers during Season 1. Now, there have long been some rumours about Pedro Pascal on-set behaviour, or the lack thereof, because he's barely been on set. But basically, you know, the rumours were he didn't want to come back, and a whole bunch of nonsense, to be honest. This doesn't really corroborate the previous rumours that were perpetuated by Grace Randolph. This seemingly is something completely different. So if you remember those rumours, I would say disregard them to a certain degree, because this is from a very reputable source who's been right about essentially everything to do with Star Wars. And it comes from Making Star Wars, you know, makingstarwars.net. They have been right on everything, and I do mean literally everything. I remember a few years back, they did the report on Grogu, you know, rocking around in the IG-11 droid armour. Well, that's just come true. So, yeah, very reputable source. They're right about everything to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi. If they're coming out and saying this, I would say that actually it's true. Or at least more so legitimate than previous rumours and reports, anyway. And this is something which we've, I guess, long suspected there's been something going on, at least recently, because Season 3 with Jon Favreau is completely different. You know, this is a very different beast to the previous seasons. You know, I remember the first season of The Mandalorian, and it opened with someone's arm being chopped off, or their bodies being chopped off in the door, and I was like, God damn, this is very adult. You know, this is an adult show, or at least more adult than previous. And then Season 3 has just become, well, it's become Season 3, isn't it? Very child, kiddie focused. Very immature in its focus. Whereas Mandalorian Season 1 was not like that. At all. And I think there's definitely something going on with Jon Favreau there. You know, his sort of, or lack thereof, involvement in the show. So let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here, ladies and gents. Love to have you here more often. And if you enjoy this video, hit thumbs up and share it. So, like I said, there's long been some rumours, creatively, apparently, between the Mandalorian's creative team and Pedro Pascal. With essentially the rumour being that Pedro Pascal wants to leave the show. Now, at the time, I don't know how true I remember that being, or how true I remember feeling that all was. You know, he's barely there, and he was getting paid good money. But this is all to do with his money, actually. So I didn't see why he'd planned to leave it, because although he's busy, he's not that busy. You know, he's in stuff, but he's not in a lot of things. He's coming up, put it that way. Now, they say this article. It's a little hard to believe all those things considered, because the role of Din Djarin actually only requires him to perform voiceover work and reap the rewards of being the internet's, you know, Pedro Daddy Pascal. And then, of course, he's removed his helmet on very few occasions. And it's basically stunt doubles. You know, Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder are basically the Mandalorian. He's barely there. Barely there. And those two have even now, currently, been credited correctly during the latest season. Which it does indicate that Pedro Pascal's not been on the set at all. Which, why would you? Why would you need to be doing what you do there? Just literally phone in the lines. However, Making Star Wars weighed in to explain that all of those rumours are not legit. And actually, there have been some clashes, but those clashes occurred before The Mandalorian's first season. So nothing to do with what we'd previously heard from Grace Randolph. He's going to leave. You know, he's done. Loads of nonsense. And again, Making Star Wars have been right about every single thing they report. Literally everything. Their track record is impeccable. So, it is said that Disney tried to offer Pedro Pascal a voice actor's salary due to his limited amount of screen time and the fact he's rarely in the costume. This was before the first season. And Pedro Pascal was like, no. You want me to be the Mandalorian? I'm the voice of the Mandalorian. I will end up being the face of the Mandalorian. No. You will not pay me a voice actor's salary. Which is interesting that he felt that he could push back on that. In fairness. And good on him. But apparently Pascal did push back on being paid a lower amount and ultimately received a standard salary. So that was a clash. The clash, anyway. And it's more than likely the case that we only saw his face because of that pushback. Otherwise, maybe we wouldn't have seen it and he just would have been a voice actor. But the thing is, this is part of the problem in general from getting actual actors to come in and do voice acting, is that they will demand actual actors' salary. And I know I say actual actors, but you know what I mean, screen actors. Whereas voice actors are used to voice actor salary. And that is part of the issue. You know. And I don't think Pedro Pascal, is he the draw for The Mandalorian? Was he always the draw? I don't think he was. I think it was more, oh, The Mandalorian, this is interesting. You know, a bit of a Boba Fett-esque. So it's interesting that Disney actually sort of caved in to that demand. Because, again, remember, you know, cast your mind back to the first season. Was Pedro Pascal's star power that big? I don't remember it being that big. Now, yes. But back then, no, not so much. So, of course, in the latest season, we have not seen Din Djarin's face. And, in fact, they've made that almost a certainty by him going to, you know, the living waters and bathing and not becoming an apostate anymore. However, of course, that could change in the finale, where he's rumoured to, something's rumoured to happen. But we don't know how true that is yet. Now, they say this, because Pascal is so much busier, maybe he's happy to step in for less money. But we shall see. And this is the truth. Again, from MakingStarWars.net. And I would say that they're completely legit. They have been right on everything. And this is the tweet that sort of set the Twitterverse ablaze. According to Making Star Wars, in Mandalorian Season 1, during negotiation stage, Disney wanted to pay Pedro as a voice actor in the role of the Mandalorian rather than an actor. But Pedro wanted to be paid as an actor because he's worth more than that. So they made an agreement to show his face in the Season 1 finale. So he gets paid in full as an actor rather than a voice actor. That's it. So that is debunking the drama behind the scenes. But it is interesting because, again, you know, we've seen the sort of decline of The Mandalorian. And it could be that Jon Favreau and both Pedro Pascal are on the way out, and that's why. But then you'd have to pay Katie Sackhoff more money because she's going to be an actual actor. And if you're going to get, you know, Katie Sackhoff to replace Pedro Pascal, it'd be interesting to see what they work out financially. But let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear it. It's an interesting deep dive. But again, like I said, Making Star Wars have been right on everything. So if they say that this is legit, I'm genuinely inclined to believe it more so than Grace Randolph. So cheers, guys. Take care.